Mr. Speaker, I thank the member, Mr. Leong Man Wai, for raising this motion, and Mr. Edward Chia for his amendments. We all care about our hawkers. What has been made clear in the debate thus far is our collective passion for sustaining our hawker culture by ensuring that hawker centers remain affordable and accessible, helping hawkers address current operating challenges, such as the increasing costs of ingredients, the rising costs of running a stall, and a manpower crunch. We also need to put focus on attracting and empowering the next generation of hawkers to continue this tradition as aging veterans retire, preserving our culinary heritage while innovating to meet evolving tastes. It is also clear that the experiences of our hawkers vary. Different SEHC managers, different locations, different rental rates, different offerings and pricing strategies, and indeed, different hawker aspirations and expectations lead to different experiences. So there are no silver bullets. The government has introduced many programs to help, such as, on the supply side, the Hawker Development Program, Hawkers Productivity Grant, and targeted rental, financial, and skills development assistance. On the demand side, we are all familiar with the CDC voucher scheme. We can see the government continuing to invest in new and upgrading hawker center infrastructure and refining its policies to sustain our hawker culture. For example, the recent move to allow hawkers to hire workers on LTVP in order to relieve manpower shortages. Sometimes the issue is not the policy, but the implementation. For example, improvements are probably needed in the operating processes and practices of specific SEHCs. Perhaps we could incorporate 360 feedback from customers and especially hawkers to become inputs into tender PQMs and ongoing performance assessments of SEHCs to help them improve. After all, hawkers are very important stakeholders in the ecosystem. I will focus my speech on the community aspect of hawker culture. Beyond the good and affordable food, our hawker centers have long been about community. Places where people from all walks of life come together with their friends and families, share stories, celebrate milestones, except perhaps a first date for Gen Zs per the recent report, and enjoy our culinary heritage. As a Woodlands resident and third-generation hawker, Dean observed, the veterans have hawkers like his grandmother. They are the salt and earth people. Their fellow stallholders and their customers, whom they know by name, are their community. Sure, sometimes there would be disagreement between hawkers, especially when they sell the same type of food. But generally, hawkers within a hawker center get along. They give back too, as a community, to the community. Dean shared how when one hawker wanted to give free meals to, say, to a mosque, the whole row of stalls would chip in. It is their way of doing good, while also gaining the goodwill of the community and marketing their hawker center and their own foods. Even today, many of us have probably seen hawkers quietly dishing out meals to needy residents for only a few coins in return, without much fanfare, affording them dignity along with their food. Given this community spirit, it is only right that beyond government policies, beyond actions to be taken by NEA, SEHCs, and other ecosystem players, we look to the wider community to be engaged in sustaining our hawker culture. There is much that we, as a community, can do to support hawkers while ensuring that anyone, regardless of their circumstances, can enjoy a good meal. In Woodlands, during COVID, I started our Belanja a Meal, or BAM at Woodlands program, at Kampong Admiralty Hawker Center and coffee shops in my division. It is a pay-it-forward program. People can buy extra meals at over 30 participating hawker stores or make an online donation, while low-income residents can redeem free meals of their choice, 10 meals a month for each member of their family. Volunteers top up the available meals at each store every week to ensure that residents always have a good selection. All of this is facilitated by a nifty little app built by volunteers in our Woodlands digital office. Now, this short summary belies the community spirit that underpins this program. The relationship is not at all transactional. Many of our hawker stores give more value than the $4 we pay them for each BAM meal. Our stallholders refer to us customers who they believe would benefit from the BAM program. We sign them up and also get them help that they can benefit from beyond BAM. They also tell me when their customers share with them their problems and encourage them to approach me for help at my Meet the People session. Many of our stallholders are regular contributors to BAM at Woodlands themselves, especially after a few big redemptions in a day can wipe out their balance of free meals. And the community has really rallied behind it. Let me share some of the heartwarming reasons people wrote on why they were donating. Mark Kai Chong, who is a regular donor, donating $10 to $20 each time, wrote, "I want to contribute to my community, and I find the BAM idea fantastic. If I have a little more than I need, I try to live kindness and care through action rather than being an observer." Action rather than being an observer. Yongset Lin, who donated $100, wrote, "I donated so that people in need can have a good meal." Marie Ong, who donated $1,000, wrote, "I always believe that to be able to help others in need or to create positive change is a beautiful thing. I love to see the smile on everyone's faces and spread love and joy around." Amalina Mutalib, who donated $10, wrote, "I donated because I know what it feels like to feel hunger." An anonymous donor who donated $20 wrote, "I have the tendency to lose my wallet and forget where I put it. I found my wallet today, and I take it as a sign that God wants me to donate." Muhammad Faki Karami, who donated $10, simply wrote, "I sayang Sembawang." And finally, an anonymous donor who wrote, "I like MP Mariam as I have been following her on Facebook and her projects have shown how much she cares for people, not just her constituents. Way to go, Miss Mariam." Now, I had to think twice about reading that last one out, but the point is really not to toot my own horn, but to share the insights that Singaporeans care and are happy to help others enjoy good hawker meals. We just need to provide the platforms. Beyond the general public, we had great support from Northwest CDC to start it up, and corporate donors and patrons who made significant donations. In addition to helping our residents in need, BAM at Woodlands was a great help to our hawkers during the dark days of COVID when business was low, and continues to be a source of business today. It has also strengthened the bonds between hawkers and the community. I'll share some examples. Madam Suryati Pokol, who until recently ran Warung Lorong Fatima at Kampung Admiralty, wrote, "Thank you for being with me when the times were down. You bring up the BAM plan to us. It was a splendid thought that I will make it happen for the Woodlands residents. I made customers to be my new friends, and they supported me very well." In 2021, a stall assistant at Woodlands North Plaza met with a horrific car accident that left him in a coma for months and huge hospital bills. Not knowing where else to turn to, his colleagues spoke to our volunteers who had been engaging with them on BAM at Woodlands. Our volunteers helped them to set up a crowdfunding appeal. Within a week, it raised $200,000 to help Aji pay for his hospital bills and rehabilitation. Two of our stallholders at Kampung Admiralty, Mr. Pei and Ms. Chen, have even become our patrons, contributing to our building fund for the upgrading of Woodlands CC, which, when open, will serve our community for years to come. Now in its fourth year, BAM is still growing and has expanded to other parts of Sembawang GRC, including to my colleague Ms. Polisan's ward in Sembawang West. To date, more than 70,000 free meals have been redeemed, with more beneficiaries joining the program every month. And despite their own costs going up, many stalls have absorbed the price increases without requiring our BAM at Woodlands beneficiaries to top up the difference. But I do not take our hawkers for granted, and we'll be revising the $4 we pay them for each meal in the new year. To me, BAM at Woodlands embodies the kampung spirit of our Woodlands community at its finest, hawkers and the community supporting one another. I believe we can do more to scale up such initiatives across Singapore. By working with local organizations, grassroots, and hawkers themselves, we can launch programs similar to Belanja Meal in every constituency. Imagine a network of hawker centers where every meal bought could contribute to someone else's meal, where acts of kindness ripple outwards, creating a culture of giving, of mutual support. By expanding programs like this, we, the community, can help ensure that our hawker centres continue to be vibrant, inclusive spaces that reflect the Singaporean spirit. Mr. Speaker, in Malay, pusat penjajah merupakan sebahagian daripada warisan hidup kita. Kita semua mempunyai pusat penjajah atau gerai pusat penjajah kegemaran masing-masing, di mana keluarga besar kita berkumpul untuk bersantai dan menikmati hidangan yang enak. Ada kalanya sehinggakan sanggup merentas dari Jurong ke Bedok. Ketika saya menetap di luar negeri, setiap kali pulang ke tanah air, saya akan melawat ke semua penjajah kegemaran saya, termasuk mi mamak di West Coast dan sate di Hague Road. Kehidupan seorang penjajah bukannya mudah. Dengan waktu kerja yang panjang, persekitaran yang kurang selesa sentiasa berdiri. Penjajah menghadapi pelbagai cabaran seperti kos bahan mentah yang semakin meningkat, kos operasi yang semakin tinggi dan kekurangan tenaga kerja. Kita juga perlu menyokong penjajah muda atau hawkerpreneur agar mereka dapat meneruskan tradisi ini. Sering kalinya, penjajah muda ingin membawa idea dan konsep baru yang memenuhi cita rasa pelanggan yang semakin berkembang. Ini bukanlah satu perkara baru. Ramai di antara kita mungkin menikmati makanan western bagi kali pertama di sebuah gerai pusat penjajah. Ramai di antara kita mungkin mengenali Mark's Place yang diasaskan oleh sepasang suami isteri Cina Muslim. Kisah mereka menceritakan bagaimana mereka melihat kekosongan di pasaran untuk makanan Cina yang halal dan memulakan sebuah gerai pada tahun 1999. Selepas 2 tahun, mereka memulakan Mark's Place, The Hawker Rent di Changi, yang menjual makanan yang sama tetapi dalam sesana yang lebih selesa dengan penyaman udara atau air conditioning, sambil bersumbang kepada komuniti dalam berbagai cara, termasuk menyediakan makanan percuma untuk golongan kurang bernasib baik, memberi pekerjaan dan bimbingan kepada bekas pesalah, serta menyediakan makanan dan rawatan perubatan untuk kucing-kucing komuniti. Ramai di dalam masyarakat kita ingin mengikuti jejak mereka. Mereka inginkan lebih kelunturan untuk mencuba menu baru serta dipermudahkan dari segi meluaskan perniagaan apabila konsep mereka berjaya, sama ada dengan perkembangan ke pusat penjajah lain ataupun membuka hawker rent, kafe atau restoran. Kita perlu menyokong dan memperkuasakan mereka. Kerajaan telah melancarkan program untuk menyokong para penjajah kita termasuk penjajah muda dan sentiasa menilai semula dasar-dasar untuk segala tujuan. Tetapi kita sebagai masyarakat juga boleh memainkan peranan. Salah satu sumber inspirasi dalam budaya penjajah kita adalah bagaimana ia telah menyatukan masyarakat, memupuk semangat kekitaan dan menderma. Inisiatif seperti belanja meal di Woodlands adalah salah satu contoh yang baik. Saya melancarkan BAM at Woodlands sewaktu pandemik COVID untuk menyokong penjajah kami yang terkesan perniagaannya dan untuk memberi makanan percuma kepada penduduk-penduduk yang memerlukan. Orang ramai boleh membeli makanan tambahan untuk diberi kepada penduduk berpendapatan rendah di lebih 30 gerai penjajah yang terlibat atau membuat sumbangan online yang kami salurkan kepada gerai-gerai tersebut. Idea ini mudah tetapi diterima dengan hati yang sangat terbuka oleh masyarakat kami. Kini BAM telah dilancarkan di kawasan lain di Sembawang GRC. Dalam tempoh 4 tahun, lebih 70,000 makanan percuma telah diberikan kepada ratusan keluarga. Ia juga telah mengeratkan hubungan antara penjajah dan masyarakat. Penjajah kami sering terlibat dalam inisiatif kemasyarakatan kami, terutamanya pada waktu-waktu perayaan, apabila semua orang ingin melakukan kebaikan dan kerja-kerja amal. Salah satu contoh adalah Puan Suraya yang pernah mengendalikan warung lorong Fatimah di Kampung Admiralty. Beliau menyumbang lebih dari 100 botol kuih raya untuk kempen sumbangan kuih raya kami. Keluarga berpendapatan rendah dapat memilih kuih kegemaran mereka semasa pengagihan barangan runcit Sinar Ramadan di community store kami, Store at Woodlands. Din dan pasukan mudanya mengendalikan bergerak di pusat penjaya Bukit Canberra. Dia menjual burger dan putu piring. Dengan kerjasama mereka sentiasa tetap di acara-acara kemasyarakatan kami dengan putu piring mereka yang sangat popular. Dengan kerjasama Serikat Syarikat yang diasaskan oleh UPU, seorang bekas pesalah bergerak telah menajakan perkhidmatan potongan rambut percuma sebagai persiapan penduduk kami menyambut Hari Raya tahun ini. Selama 4 tahun berturut-turut, Bulan Sisi telah menggunakan platform BAM untuk menyediakan 1,000 juadah makan buka puasa percuma setiap minggu dalam bulan puasa di gerai-gerai penjajah halal kami. Makanan ini diberi kepada semua, tidak kira bangsa dan latar belakang, untuk berkongsi semangat memberi sewaktu iftar yang sebagai umat Islam kami percaya dapat menggandakan pahala puasa kami. Program Ramadan BAM ini juga telah membantu memperkenalkan gerai-gerai baru kepada penduduk kami, seperti kantin food court baru di Admiralty Place. Secara keseluruhannya, kita boleh melakukan lebih banyak lagi untuk memperluaskan inisiatif sebagai ini di seluruh Singapura. Dengan mengembangkan program seperti ini, kita sebagai masyarakat dapat memastikan pusat penjajah kita terus riang dan meriah, inklusif dan mencerminkan semangat Singapura. Mr. Speaker, in conclusion, our hawker centres are a symbol of our shared history and values, where we find comfort and community. To sustain and grow our hawker culture, we must take a holistic approach. This includes government support, but also community initiatives and efforts to empower the next generation of hawkers. Let us not underestimate what we, the community, can do. If we care enough about it, we must work together to preserve this precious part of our identity so that future generations can continue to enjoy and contribute to a vibrant hawker culture. I support the amended motion. Thank you.